Nobody fucking wins. Like it or not, you fight to lose. None of that shit is up to you. So just fuck it, let it through. Stop playing that fucking game. Like it or not, you bet you lose. None of that shit is up to you. So just fuck it, let it through. Now!
He really did.
Wow,
Fuck yeah!
you started strong.
I'll live for this.
Yeah, pints are cool. Fucking hell. What? That's it? You almost finished it?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So the other time
Yeah.
we talked about serious shit.
I didn't hear anything from the other time. Can you summarize it like in a just look?
Yeah, I
bit.
didn't upload that one.
Ah, okay.
So it was,
The one with June.
yeah, 3 hours talking about
Tinfoil stuffs.
a little bit of tinfoil stuff and the dark, not so,
Not soft lifting stuff.
not very uplifting
Yeah. So we should say something.
estimations about
Yeah.
our future in terms of technology and shit.
But it can be bright if we change it. You're up to us, I think. How to do it.
Well, yeah, I admire you for that shit. All
Why?
the time.
I try to stay
But
positive.
I'm okay. I'm cool. You
Yeah.
know why? Because I have very low expectations.
I do the same. But I think there's some balance in the universe, you know. Eventually things balance out. So if we say, okay, there is this big
Yeah.
black hole in this planet of people, like evil people. So, and they're so evil as we describe it, then to balance things out, there should be a lot of good people as well, or you know, similar amount. So it will balance out,
Yeah.
or we will extinct. That's one, but yeah, what the fuck can you do? If this
It's
happens, it
really
happens.
easy, actually. Like we talked about yesterday. It's really easy. We just have to stop looking at
Yeah.
this negative stuff fed on us
Yeah,
from the media. Just turn that shit off and look around
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Then there are good people just right around you. You don't have to go far.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And find some good quality hobbies, I would say. Read a little bit, do some walking. Like, if you even if you can, let's just say, reduce screens by 20%, it will be a big improvement right
Yeah.
there. You know.
Well, just put your fucking phone down, mate.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then
It's
have
difficult,
a
though.
cup of tea and carry on.
But that's the thing. Let's just say I just catch myself and say, oh shit, yeah, what the fuck am I doing all day today? I'm just scrolling down my phone, browsing
Yeah.
stuff, and then
Put that shit down. Have a cup of tea.
then you put this down, you make the cup of tea. Oh, this is cool. But then you need to read something, or you need to get out of the house
Yeah.
and leave the phone in the house.
We're all addicted.
Because let's just say I make the cup of tea, I put the phone down. What will I do? I will pick up the remote and put Netflix. So I keep looking at the thing.
Anything,
The fact that I went from small screen to bigger screen maybe made it worse. It's not even better. That's not better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should think about stuff you can do.
What would
without this shit.
What would your grandfather would say if he was alive, looking at people looking down on the phone all day, all night?
My grandfather from my mother's side, he had the same TV all his life, and when they changed his TV, he got upset because
What do you mean?
his son-in-law
He's
bought him a new one,
he's stuck to one certain model of the TV.
and he was fixing it because it was old style, you know, huge TV, man, you know, it's like these thick ones.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
this
yeah,
thick.
yeah.
And so he kept fixing it. And he was fixated on listening to records, and he was reading the newspaper. So he was picking up the newspaper, and he was eating his lunch. Of course, we didn't have this as a family to sit down all together to eat because he was coming late from work. So we already have eaten. So he will sit down by himself. He will put himself some white wine, you know. We call this cheap white wine, Retina. Yeah. Sit down, drink the Retina, eat the food very slowly, read the newspaper. Then he will have a nap. And he will watch TV. But then after he has the nap, he'll go back to the, let's just call it like coffee shop, but for older people, you know. So you just watch football and you talk shit and you play cards and stuff like that.
Like
He'll
a
do that.
tavern.
Yeah, kinda. But you know, they're selling alcohol as well, and they're making you like little things to eat along with your pint or your wine, and you sit down with your pals and you talk shit about politics and sports. But very communal, I think.
Like a pub.
Like a pub, yeah. But a pub where you know everybody, so it's kind of different. Now people will think, oh, you go to the pub, but you don't talk to anybody, buddy. You just go with
everyone in the town.
Yeah, you go with your friend and you talk to your friend. Barely ever you're going to talk to someone you don't know. Or even if you do, there's no way you keep in touch with this person. Very rare occurrence, isn't it? And if you know the next day you won't remember it.
Yeah.
You know that's that.
Yeah. So today is my personally long-awaited episode.
What is it about?
Talking about our roots.
Our roots, yes.
Yeah. Talking about
family.
About our fathers and grandfathers. Yeah. Family roots.
Family routes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool stuff. What about yours? You said he's the guy that never gets a good picture because
My dad.
he never smiles. He's like out of focus. All the time.
So from my mother's side, my grandparents-in-law had 4 children, and each children had 2, 3, no, at least 2 like siblings of mine.
Yeah, so your uncle.
We would take a picture all together.
Okay.
And it's easy to find my dad. The only one who's not smiling, that's him.
But he didn't smile because he was a serious person or because
he's the fucking funniest guy there.
Yeah.
He's the funniest guy there, but he just cannot do this fake smile.
Fake smile. Yeah, I get it. My father is horrible at taking pictures as well. You know.
Tell me, let me go through this
Okay, go on.
history
Yes.
from
What you
your
wanna
like the sailor. No, wait. Before that, you said
So my father sent me this year.
yeah.
You know, part he went through. You know, my father is journalist first of all, so he's like mad about research and stuff. So he went and he found through the council, through the ministry of whatever. He went deep anyhow, and he found on the records that we don't. I thought we were from Rhodes, the island.
Yeah.
But we are from. The further he went in the past, we are from an even smaller island called Kassos. So my great grandfather was something like mayor there, and he was involved into the resistance against Ottoman Empire. Basically, that was it. Yeah, he was into that stuff, and
What did he do?
yeah, a lot of stuff.
Fucking
Burning
sabotage?
ships, burning ships and stuff. But that was normal. Yeah, that was normal stuff. But he was like, so my
Fuck.
so you could say that my family from my father's side is more like middle class because they were always men of letters. So they were always in these positions. My great grandfather, I mean the father of my grandfather.
Yeah.
That has the same name with me, Sotirios. Emmanuel, that had the same name with my father. He
Yeah.
was a sailor that spoke 7 languages. He was a captain of a ship. That's all I know about my very, very past. So sailors. My grandfather was born in Cairo. That's what I know. And he was best friend with one of our national poets. That kind of stuff. Mr. Constantinos
That's so fucking
Kavafis.
cool.
Yeah, but I don't feel cool because I'm like, okay, so what did I do in my life? I was making coffees in Starbucks. But you know what I mean? Yeah. Cool history. From my mother's side, my grandfather, he was from Istanbul. There were immigrants from Istanbul, and they were kicked out by Turkey. And you see this common element.
What happened?
In 1922, the war started with Turkey. One of the many wars. Right?
With Greece.
With Greece. And as a result, they asked these people that were living there, Greek families, to leave. And the one that didn't leave,
Was there also
They
some
were
kind
forced
of
to leave.
massacre as well?
there was massacre, yes. Because there were people that refused to leave. They said,
Yeah.
no, we're citizens, we have rights. No, you don't have rights here. So they
That's
kicked them out.
also when this fucking massacre of Armenian people happened, right? Around that
I
time.
think I don't wanna say something. I don't remember it historically, but I think it's either little after or little before.
Yeah.
I think it's little after.
Fuck.
Yeah. It was Kemal. Actually, Kemal was born in Thessaloniki. That's the fucking
Who's that?
irony. Kemal Atatürk was one of the greatest generals they had of the new generation. He was born in Greece. He was raised with Greek letters. He went to schools, but
Yeah.
he became leader of Turkish army.
So he stayed there?
So, you know, it's a long thing. We had this big war for many, many years. You know, this particular war, I can't say that was Turkish fault. One of the few times you cannot say that because we provoked them as well. So, anyhow, they didn't have it. They kicked us out from Istanbul and all the other cities. The people that left became immigrants. The people that didn't leave got killed or got pushed on the harbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
see pictures, people swimming. You see this stuff. So yeah, my grandfather went then to a smaller town in northeast. I mean, his father, and then my father, from my mother's side, Socrates was his name. He got killed by Germans in the Second World War. So we have all this history of people in my
What do you
family.
mean? So he fought in a war?
Yeah, he fought. He got executed. You know,
Why? What happened?
Germany in the Second World War, basically the Nazi party. I don't want to say Germany, the Nazi party. So they come and they ask you stuff. So whether you answer correctly or if they're happy, if you're on their side
Yeah.
and you betray your country, they give you position, whatever fake position.
Yeah.
If not, game over. And yeah, my great grandfather refused to cooperate with them, so I got killed.
Fuck!
Yeah. I went to they made them a monument. I think it was like a small village, man.
Yeah.
We're talking about like, imagine like a small village, 200 people. I think just killed them all, just like that, boom. You know what I'm saying?
Very easy to find that kind of event in the last century. Happened fucking everywhere.
Yeah. So then, anyhow, my grandfather from my mother's side, they were like he had two brothers and one little sister, and they moved to Thessaloniki. And then, yeah, they were working from 8 years old, no school, because you have to survive. And he was selling like, I think he was glossing shoes. You know, this
Oh yeah.
cleaning
On the
suits
street.
on the street.
Yeah.
And then he was selling refreshments. And then he found a guy that taught him the carpentry. And he became a carpenter. Yeah. That's from my father.
Top fucking time.
Tough fucking time. My grandmother wasn't working at that time until she became a little. We had a big earthquake in the 80s in Thessaloniki, so my grandmother had to start working older. So that sucks. Imagine all your life you haven't worked, then you work like at 45.
What?
Awful.
In the 1980?
Yeah, there was a huge earthquake, so there was like a lot of buildings that fell, and
Yeah.
then people became unemployed. So that was the first time that women had to start working. That was the generation of my grandfather, I guess. And then she was working in these tobacco factories, shit like that. Hard work. My grandfather was taking me in the car at 10 o'clock at night, picking her up because it's 10 o'clock at night in a fucking weird city. And that was it. My grandma was into the super left-wing party, super communist party, into revolts.
Your grandma?
Yeah, my grandma. So everybody in my family is crazy and has something either resisting or going against the status quo, I would say. Even in my mother's house, everybody was voting something different, and that was kind of fun. That was a nice environment to grow up.
Argue all the time?
Yeah, but it was a good debate. It was an argument, My mom was very liberal. She was like into the only person that went to university from my mother's side, my grandmother's side, and she was into this liberal stuff. My aunt was more like a socialist. My grandfather was more like a right-wing guy, and my grandma was like super communist. So everybody was voting something different, and I didn't want to vote. So there you go, 5 out of 5, all 5 complete approaches. What else?
That's fucking cool.
Yeah, my father's father was he went to Australia as an immigrant, and he opened a VHS store. So he had he was selling cassettes and stuff, renting, movies.
He's still there?
No, he went back to Rhodes. He brought many cassettes. Then with my father, they opened a radio station that was very successful. My grandfather from my father's side is this person that talks a lot. I got it from him. Very popular, talking to strangers seemingly without no effort, people's person. He could have been a mayor or something, definitely. He had this politician vibe in him, and he had this radio show. He was a good guy, hardworking, as well. My father's side. What about you?
Tell me a bit about that radio station.
It was Radio Union, and I think they
Was it
opened
independent?
It was independent. It was the first radio frequency that ran into the whole Dodecanese, so the whole 12 islands that includes Rhodes, the big part. So it's southeast of Greece.
Yeah.
All this part of islands. So it was the first frequency. I mean, there were pirate frequencies, but this was the first legal frequency. I don't know what my grandfather did, how he did it. So my father put all the work, so he put all the muscle, but my grandfather was managing it well, and he was also had connections with politicians and stuff. He was really good at it.
They played cassette?
They play cassette.
Aired cassette?
Yeah, they play vinyl basically and cassettes. Yeah, we do both, and then later on CD when it started happening. I think late 80s.
Wow, fucking privilege you had.
I told you about this story many times. It struck an impression on me. So I think that should have been something like very late 80s, something like 88 or 89, something like that. Where I saw late at night, like Friday night, when you have this time around, let's say 7 or 8 until midnight.
Yeah.
And there's the most popular time, people calling. There's someone on the phone. I want to dedicate this song to my girlfriend. Which song do you like? So they were writing them down. And then you have somebody on the mic who was producing. And then you have a person or two fetching up the records because there was no MP3, motherfucker. You have to find it. And people should understand it's like, imagine all your house full of records from end to end, like all the wall.
Yeah.
So you have to be tight, you know. So my grandfather was getting angry many times because they were messing the records. And if you don't have them taxonomized properly in order, you can find them
Perfectly in alphabetical order, right?
perfectly in alphabetical or order, whatever. I don't know how he put it. I guess alphabetical. So you go fetch it, and you put it, and the producer they will say, okay, Sampo wants to dedicate this song to his friend. Let's say Praver. This song. Boom, you play the song, and then you get super money from commercial, and also you get a good tap from labels and well done.
They come to give you copy of new records and shit.
They send you by mail. Yeah.
Here's a new band. I want you to play.
Late 80s, I remember they used to come in the radio station. They have representatives that will come from Athens. Very disgusting people.
Why?
These ones, I remember them. They were pushing you to play the shit, their own stuff. You know, you had Sony and all these companies.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying this guy was from Sony. That was just an example. A guy from a label, I don't remember which one. So he will come say, hey, how are you? You know, oh, that's such a nice radio. Trying to lick your ass to play their artist. Because imagine it was like on the top of popularity. And people were not checking the charts, only the sales. Of course, you go for the sales of the record. But they were very much interested in the promotion that was happening only by earsay. You know, you have to listen to the song.
Yeah.
So you have this guy that his sole job was like listening to radio station in this part of Greece to check what kind of place you have. It was a type of success. So you get by mail, usually they send you like either vinyl or CD or whatever, or cassette. They will say, yeah, this is a new artist. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So, yeah. And then my grandfather would go and fetch up some advertisement. He was like really good at that. So he was going in one store and he would say, oh, you know, you can get advertised and get more money out of it and blah, blah, blah. He was convincing them, pretty good at this. So there was a time we were pretty good. At the end it faded out. I mean...
Why?
Because the era changed and the big radios became really big. They became like sharks, so you couldn't support it, you know. Because they got like better quality equipment, and I guess we ran out of this era with the vinyl, so we went to bunks. MP3 in the computer, so went in that era.
Yeah.
So radio died, and then people, you know, now we have Spotify and streaming services. Back then it was very popular to have downloadable content. Like, I download this album. So we stopped listening to radio basically.
I remember people would write a letter with a song request.
Yeah.
Yeah, they write a letter to their friend or their fucking girlfriend, mother.
A dedication.
Yeah, with some story.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to request this song.
Yeah. And he had tricks, man. You know, this producer was clever. He wasn't gonna play the massive hit. There were massive hits, Greek ones and the foreign ones. Imagine there was like a mixed thing, so you have to play both. And especially the Greek ones, he was maneuvering it so he will play it last, so people will wait to hear the song. So they listen.
Because that's the most weighted.
Yeah, you're not gonna play it first. People waiting to hear the shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, you get like a page, you know, like writing them down. Oh, this guy wants to dedicate this song. Pretty cool. I remember that. It was pretty like almost like a basketball team. Like you passing, instead of the basketball, you're passing like vinyls. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, my grandfather will be in the office, and if he didn't like something, he'll come in and he'll create some dramas. God rest his soul. He died from a heart attack in a car. Poor guy.
What did he like? Music.
My grandfather, he liked many stuff. He he liked guitars and stuff. He liked rock music.
Wow.
I remember that. That's like
What was
kind of
his
weird.
favorite band?
He liked very old stuff, man, like root stuff. Like he was listening to blues, he was listening to jazz, he was listening like proper piano stuff. He liked classical music, he liked Greek stuff. He was, but I will not say like. I think my father was a bigger music fan, and my grandfather was crazy with movies.
Yeah.
He was crazy with cinema. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was doing metaphors with cinema, and he would put like "Singing in the Rain" on repeat every Sunday or something like that. Or he will do like, oh, today is like UFO. Let's put like E.T. or something. No. Oh, let's watch like
The soundtrack.
Dracula. No, movies in the house. Man.
In the house.
In the house, yeah. He was eating pasta bolognese exactly like I do. My favorite food. It was his favorite food. He was drinking a fucking 2-liter cola every day, 1.5. You know, he was smoking his pipe. So I mean, grandpa, you got heart attack, but I wouldn't say it was like a surprise.
Well, how old was he?
He wasn't old. He wasn't very old. Like both my grandfather died young. I think he was like 75 or something. My grandfather from my mother's side was like 72. He was even younger.
Not too old yet.
But these people, remember, they used to work from young, man.
Yeah.
They were fucking around every day going to work. They were going to work. I think my grandfather got like his pensions and stuff. He got retired, but he kept working. He didn't stop.
They don't know how to stop.
They don't know how to stop.
That generation.
They
don't know how to
identified by the job they do.
Yeah.
It's just weird to describe it.
Yeah.
Now we have this mentality when we're like, oh,
It's the opposite. Yeah.
now we're like 40 years old.
It's the opposite now. We
Look how young we are.
Young.
I'm 40, but I have this mentality. Maybe not me myself, but people at 40, 45, they start thinking, oh shit, I'm gonna retire. No man, you're just young. You have to keep doing.
But
this shit.
that shit happens actually lately.
What?
The companies lay off people very young. Some companies do when the situation is bad.
Lay off or retire them? They pay them.
Yeah, they force them to retire in fucking early 40s and something. In extreme cases.
Is
They're
it
bad.
this kind of people that they go and they find that some other passion? Will go
No. Because
scuba diving.
Because the company not
yeah.
doing well,
So that they become redundant then.
and then the employees they get poor legal support for the employment nowadays. That's quite common.
Yeah, but I was thinking about that. But think about how much legal representation you can have nowadays for free. When that wasn't the case in the 80s and the 70s, you would have no representation if you don't have money. Now you can at least get some decent one for free.
But in the 80s, we didn't need that because once you get a job, you just hired lifetime.
But still, to hire a lawyer even then it was quite expensive.
Very
and
much.
if you were going up,
Very much.
Now, I'm talking about this type of lawyer that goes against companies, right? That protect like workers' strike, let's just say. It was a lot difficult. Unless you were in a union, that's a completely different scenario. We used to have unions in the past. If you get laid off, you go to the union, they go to fight, they do a strike, they do some dramas, and you get something out of it. But now, you need to find your own way. Wait! I have to stop you there. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Visit our website to join our mail list to receive news and special offers around the band and the show. Feel free to talk shit about things you like or dislike. And please support us through Patreon so we can keep making awesome content for you. Follow us on social media and don't forget, in a fight between idiots, nobody wins. Until next time.